May the plot be in my favor. Please let the plot be in my favor. Hi, hello, my name is Taylor Alexander. I am an aspiring screenwriter, playwright, and novelist, and I hope that you are ready to embark on the ultimate writing journey because this is a 10K weekend. When I say it's a 10K weekend, I say that very tentatively, very loosely, because I did try one of these this past November and I only got to about 5,000 or 6,000 words in total for the weekend. That was across 3 full days of writing, and right now I'm gonna try over 2 in about an eighth of a day. It is currently a Friday night. It's about 7:30 or so, and I'm starting now. This 10K weekend starts with a Friday night because I feel like that is when the weekend gets started. I did do an hour-long writing session when I got up this morning at 5. I ended up writing 1,242 words, which honestly in itself is insane, but we're not counting that. That's not part of the 10K weekend. That begins right now. So my goal over tonight, Saturday, and Sunday is to write 10,000 words. Now you might ask, why the heck are you doing this to yourself? Not only is it fun, in a way, it's also very intimidating, but I am currently in the first ever writer games. Authortuber Evelyn Black is currently hosting the ultimate challenge for writers. I say the ultimate because I have done November writing challenges. I have done trying to reach word limits by deadlines, but this challenge is like nothing else I have ever experienced because you are fighting for your district. Your district is the genre you are writing for. I'm in District 9. Let's go historical fiction. We're a mighty team of 2. But regardless, all of the points are averaged. That's right, you earn points every day for however much you write. 1 word, 1 point. If you beta read a page, you get a certain amount of points, and if you revise a page, you also get a certain amount of points, and we do that the entire month. This challenge has pushed me to my limits because when you are holding yourself accountable for a certain word count, you tend to cap out at that limit, or at least I do. Whereas with this, when we're all just fighting to see who can write the most and there's no cap on it, there have been multiple days this month where I have written over 2,000 words a day, which is a very, very rare thing for me. When I came into this month, I thought I was gonna struggle to write 1,000 words a day, and there's only been 1 day, which was yesterday, where I wrote under 1,000 words. What? Without further ado, I'm gonna put on an hour-long library ambiance right now, see how many words I can write, and we'll take it from there. My goal, ideally for the night, would be 2,000 words, because that means I would only have to write 4,000 tomorrow and 4,000 on Sunday, which is still a lot, but it's a lot less than having to tackle 5,000 or 6,000 words a day. So if I can get close to 2K tonight, that would be a big celebration. And remember, I'm not counting this morning's 1,200 words, so we have to start from scratch. Our word count is currently at 0 for the 10K weekend. And on that note, I better get writing. I don't even know what to say. I just wrote for an hour, and at first I was super, I don't know if I'd say fidgety or what it was. I kept getting up, I got water. First 10 minutes I'd say I got up at least 3 or 4 times and stopped writing, but I did pause the timer, so I made sure that I actually wrote for an hour. And I just broke my record for an hour. I am shocked. I didn't think I'd get anywhere near 2K tonight, quite frankly. I just thought I'm speechless. I'm speechless. How is this even possible? 1,657 words, and also, by the way, the manuscript's now over 100,000. We almost hit our whole goal for the night in an hour. I am just so shocked right now. So obviously I've got to do some more writing. I'm gonna take a brief break because I did just write for a straight hour and I kind of need to clear my head and figure out where I'm going next because this chapter is very, very long and I know it's gonna need some revisions, but that's for down the road. Right now, we just wrote 1,657 words in an hour. Literally a new record. Okay, maybe that's a good sign for how this weekend's gonna go. Maybe we'll actually write 2K tonight? What?
"5 a.m. club." Good morning, happy Saturday. As you can see, it's nearly 5:30 in the morning now. And I did end up writing more last night, but I have no clue how much that was. By the time that I got through all my jumping around and whatever, I wrote from about 8 to 9 or so, and then I took a break till 9:30, and then I wrote till 10 o'clock. And by that point, my eyes were literally closing, and my brain was still going with the words, but I could not write anymore, so I took a pause, I took a break, I fell asleep, and now we are here. So welcome back. I logged numbers for the writer games yesterday. I only logged my morning sprint and my evening sprint, but that did bring me up to I think 2,899 for the day. So let's see how much we wrote for this challenge, because we had the 1242 or something like that, and then, no, that was my morning sprint. So slicing out yesterday's 5 a.m., let's see how much we wrote for yesterday for the 10K challenge, combined between the 8 p.m. sprint and the 9:30 p.m. sprint, or session, or whatever you choose to call them. Big reveal. Okay, we did it. 2,204. We wrote 2,000 words last night. We're 2,200 words into the challenge. We only have 7,796 words to write in the next 2 days. We're good. No, honestly though, that's a lot better than I thought it would be. Alright, so when I divide our remainder by 2, I get 3,898 words per day if we want to do an even split. So I think I'm going to try and write 4,000 words for the day. That being said, it's past 5:30 now, and it's time to write. I'm going to try and write for another hour, I think. Then I'm going to need to stretch because I'm going to be sitting here for an hour. Then I might do a little more writing if I have some extra time left, but 1 hour on the clock. Here we go. Okay, update time. It's now just about 7, a little bit past 7. I wrote for an hour, and honestly, I think that my average words that I can do in an hour has gone way up. It used to be about 900 words, and now for the second day in a row, I've written over 1,600 words in 1 hour. It's scarily accurate because yesterday I wrote 1,657 in an hour. And today I just wrote 1,659, so same amount of time, 2-word difference. I did write a couple sentences past the timer going off because I was feeling like I was on a roll, but at the same time I was starting to peter out a little bit. I've got a big scene coming up. I finished chapter 37, I've started chapter 38. I'm gonna, I think, need to go back. There's a scene that impacts what's happening in chapter 38. And I might need to go back and revise it based on the context and the timing. I did write that scene as a standalone, and now I have to figure out where it goes, but it is important to this scene. So I've got a little bit of a mess there. We might be doing some revising today, but that's okay because it counts towards the point system. So either way, I can't say we're winning the writer games, but in a way we are. We're all winners. With that in mind, 1,659 words is very good for our count today because we're about a third of the way to 4,000, I think. If we can write 2 more hours today, we might have this 10K challenge in the bag. Dare I say that? I don't know. Have I come that far in my writing? Who knows? Viewer retention. You have to watch to find out. I'm gonna do a little reading now, get some breakfast, It snowed again. I love that. And I'm gonna enjoy the morning, take a little break, and then we'll do our next writing session. Let's go.
I feel like my hair's a mess and I had a hoodie on for about 2 seconds. Welcome back. I did a second writing session this morning at about 9 o'clock. I did 25 minutes and I broke past the 2K milestone, so we're now halfway to our goal of 4K for the day, which is so exciting. And then I ended up going to the bookstore. I wasn't gonna buy anything. I know I say that a lot. I wasn't going to buy anything the same way I go. I'm not gonna check anything out from the library. But they had a copy of Secret City by James Kirchick. I've been looking at this book for a while. It's a book that I've been meaning to buy. It's one that I have glanced through in the library, but it seems like a much bigger undertaking than that for my situation, because I feel like this book is going to be the final key in the research for Project Cartomancy. And I say that because this is all about the history of gay Washington, and it will really help me to conceptualize and put into perspective what it was to be a gay man in Washington, D.C., working in an environment that was so openly hostile towards you. In case you're new here or need a refresher, Project Cartomancy is about two secret agents in the 1980s and the relationship that transpires between them as they reconcile with themselves while having to deal with a bigger mission at hand. I was very hesitant to buy this book for a couple months because I had only seen the hard copy version, and the hardcover is always more expensive than the paperback. And then I went today, they had the paperback, its market price is $26, and then my B&N rewards, I had $10 off. So it went down to 17, which for this thick book is incredible, and I'm so excited because I really want to mark this up and go at it and just absolutely find everything in here that I need. And I also just find it to be a fascinating topic. One of my favorite media pieces of all time, I guess I should say, because I've read the book, but I've also seen and fallen in love with the television show, is Fellow Travelers, which is based on a book by Thomas Mallon, and that is rooted in McCarthyism in the 1950s and the Lavender Scare. And so to learn more about the history of Washington, D.C. in particular is something that I am fascinated by. This is a more recent read too. It was released in 2022. It's gotten a couple different accolades. It was a Vanity Fair Best Book, a New York Times notable book, so I am very excited to finally delve into this, diving in head first. So now I can do even more research, even though I am over 100,000 words into an almost 400-page long manuscript. There's more learning to be done. There's always more learning. Without further ado, it's almost 2:30 now, and I think it's time we better do our third writing sprint of the day. My goal right now is to get to 3,000 words, so fingers crossed, let's see if we can do this. For reference, I wrote 740 words this morning, plus the 5 a.m. sprint brings us to 2,399 words. I also just realized that if we hit 3K in this sprint, that means that we'll be halfway through our 10K weekend, because I wrote 2K yesterday plus today's 3K. That means we'll be at 5,000 words. it's time for another update, and I just wrote another 962 words in about 30 minutes, which means that our total for the day is 3,361. We are so close to 4K. And now we're halfway through the challenge. We hit 5K for the total 10K weekend. We are halfway there. This is insane to me because back when I tried this in November, I think I only did 5 or 6K for the entire weekend and I had 3 full days. And now between last night and half of today, I'm already halfway to the 10K goal. We might actually finish this. Now it's time to take another break and then I will come back and do some more writing this evening. We should probably only need one more sprint today, I think. Probably another 30-minute sprint, because we need less than 600 words to hit 4K for the day, and then we'll only have 4,000 words left tomorrow, and then it's official. We will have successfully completed a 10K weekend. I cannot believe this right now. This is so exciting and so much fun. Okay, not gonna lie, my focus is slipping. It's now 6:30 or so, somewhere's in there. 6, I don't know, I'm not wearing a watch right now. I am all cozied up though, but I've been watching reels for a bit. I don't know. I haven't written any more yet, and it's really cold out, which is why I'm cozied up. I'm so close to 4K, I think I just need to write, because sometimes the biggest thing for me is getting started, and I think I've been writing so much today that it's starting to get, I don't want to say monotonous, but at the same time, this has been a really heavy part of the book, but I'm also inching towards the part that was one of those things in the beginning that I said, this is a scene that's happening, and I've been working towards it the entire time, so this is a really, I think it's a part of the book that I'm scared to mess up, even though I'm gonna fix it in so many other drafts. But nevertheless, I think the big thing right now is to just get writing, so let's do this. I'm holding myself accountable right here, right now. Alright, it is update time. I have been writing on and off for a bit. It's now 8:20, had some dinner in between, and I'm proud of myself for keeping going despite the fact that I was feeling a bit unmotivated, and now I'm feeling in a good place again with this story. I'm nearing the end of this chapter. These chapters are getting very long. But anyways, it's time to find out how much we just wrote. Fingers crossed that this is it. 783. Okay, that might be good. We're gonna have to do a total count. Let's see. I wrote 1,659 words this morning. Then I wrote 740 words. Then I wrote 962. That brought us to 3,361. And now I just wrote another 783. Yes! 4,144. We are officially 6,000 words into the 10K weekend with only 4K to go and an entire day to write that in. Let's go. It's time to celebrate. I cannot believe this right now. If I had told myself that in the middle of February I'd be writing 4,000 words in a single day, and then I was gonna maybe quite possibly complete my first 10K weekend. What? Oh look, don't mind the hoodie, my hair is a mess. I don't know where to start because it is nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon on this lovely Sunday, and I have had such a busy day, but it has been so much fun. But still, it was very, very busy, and I got up and wrote at 5 40 or so, and I wrote 242 words out of the 4,000 that I need to write today to write 10K this weekend. On a completely unrelated note, I did go to this cafe and have the best freaking tiramisu latte. I didn't even know that was a thing, and it was so good. Back to where we were. I need to focus. I need to write. I work so hard Friday and Saturday, and so now I am absolutely determined to get this done. I listened to a little bit of my playlist. That's been helping me a lot recently, listening to my playlist, especially when I'm not gearing up to write, but just throughout the day so that I'm thinking about the story constantly. I found that that helped me so much on Friday, going into Saturday, and even that Friday evening. Having listened to the playlist all day long helped so much. The other thing that I've really been loving is these ambiances about being in cafes or libraries, or the one that I just found is for a boba shop. And so essentially I put myself into the shoes of being in that place and say, however long this ambiance is, I'm gonna write for. This one's 2 hours long, and quite frankly, I think I'm gonna need that length in order to write another 4,000 words. So I am gonna hit play on that and get started, and let's hope that we get somewhere as close to 10K. I want to hit a 10K weekend so badly. Here goes nothing. Okay, it feels about time for another update. It's now almost 9 o'clock at night. I've been writing on and off this whole time, kind of, sort of, maybe. I'm nervous now, but I think it's time to check in on my word count. If nothing else, I need to log however many words I've written for today for the writer games, and then I think I'm gonna do a little more writing, and then I'll just include that in my word count for tomorrow. But let's see where we are. I finished chapter 38. I wrote another 152 words to round that out, and let's see how much I got done in chapter 39. Okay, 779. So probably not hitting 4K today, but 779 plus the 152 means that we wrote 931 tonight. I was hoping for at least 1,000, but that's okay. So I'm logging 1,173 words in today's writer games, and yesterday I logged over 4,000. And this was supposed to be a 10K week. I've written like 7,500 words probably, so we're close, but we're not quite there. But I'm gonna log these words now and then try and get a little more writing done, and we'll tally up our total tomorrow and see where we stand. Fingers crossed, I don't know, we're just gonna give this a try and write. Remember how I said that I was gonna write more last night? That didn't happen. I tried to read a little bit, ended up conking, but that's okay because I think, honestly, we got farther than I ever have before with a 10K weekend. The question is, am I allowed to include Monday morning at 5 a.m.? Because I did get up this morning and do some more writing, and my focus was feeling a lot better. Am I allowed to count that? Is that now a part of the new week? Or like Friday night, does that count towards the weekend? I'm not sure. I don't even know how much I wrote yet. Maybe we should find that out. Okay, I wrote 649 this morning. That's not bad. I thought it was more, but it's not bad. Okay, totaling up everything from Friday night, all day Saturday, and what I managed to write on Sunday, we wrote 7,521 words. So we were only 3.5K? 2.5K? Wait. We were only 2,500 words away from 10K, which is the best that I've ever done in one of these challenges. Then if we do add this morning, though that feels like I'm stretching my luck, we wrote 8,170. So either way, I'm not upset. I know that I'm griping about, oh, I thought that I would write more in this session, or oh, I didn't quite get the number of words that I expected in that session. But as you can see, the great thing about these challenges is they reveal how much smaller chunks of writing add up. Because across those 3 days, I did at least 10 different writing sessions, and that resulted in nearly 10,000 words. Every bit of progress counts, every little milestone, even if you write for 10 minutes. If you write for 10 minutes 3 times a day, you've written for a half hour. Sometimes that's what I find most helpful, is to think about my progress in those terms, and I think that these challenges really showcase that. We may have not had an official 10K weekend, but I still had a ton of fun. I'm so proud of how much I wrote. I'm so glad that you got to join me and that you got to come to the bookstore with me, and that we are continuing our work on Project Cartomancy. I don't know how this is going to affect my standings in the writer games, or more importantly, my team standings. District 9, historical fiction represent, let's go. The tough thing about historical fiction is it does take a ton of research, so even though I am so far into this draft, I am still learning new things as much as I can, always trying to advance my knowledge about the subject, and that's part of what makes it so fun. I really hope that you enjoyed this writing vlog and this 10K challenge. If you're interested in more writing and reading content in addition to anything theater, TV commentary, yo-yo, sometimes the videos get random, but if you did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate if you leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and if you want, leave a comment about how your current projects are going. I love to talk writing, if that's not obvious. Please though, I want to hype you up. I want to celebrate your writing victories. So leave a comment down below, and I hope to see you in another video.